Fallout 5 is still many years ahead, but recently some interesting news catched my eye, such as an incredible fan-made trailer and speculations about development and release windows. Let's dive in. Hello everyone, welcome to my very first Fallout 5 news. In this one, I'm going to cover the latest hot topics regarding the 5th Fallout game confirmed by Bethesda. I will start with the fan concept trailer getting the attention of thousands of players, showcasing the power of the Unreal Engine 5. Then I will move on to some development updates from Bethesda's director Todd Howard, as well as estimated release dates from several different media, and a few other relevant topics such as possible multiplayer features and Xbox exclusivity. Well then, without any further delay, let's begin with the fan trailer. What if I told you Fallout 5 already has a trailer with almost 500,000 views? That's right, creator Infant Terrible used the Unreal Engine 5 to create a fan concept trailer, which looks incredible to say the least. Now, the trailer features all sorts of iconic items and places from the Fallout universe, such as terminals, a Pip-Boy, a Gatling Plasma, Deathclaws, and even the Ranger armor outfit. Locations like a Red Rocket station, a fishing dock, a scrap settlement, and a mighty green fridge also made it into the concept trailer. A few weeks after the release on YouTube, the trailer got lots of traction in terms of views. In about a month, it achieved over 400k views, as you can see, and it didn't go unnoticed by the gaming media either. Metro even said this trailer could pass as the real thing, hinting how good it is. Well, I couldn't agree more. When I first watched it, I was impressed with the quality and detail of all the elements. Plus, the edition is also spot on. I think it really showcases how Fallout 5 could potentially look like. Yes, I know Bethesda does not use the Unreal Engine at all, but they have recently upgraded their engine, so we can only expect the next Fallout game to look much more superior and impressive, maybe something like this. Anyway, I recommend you guys watch the short trailer in 4K for the bonus wow factor. The link is at the right corner of your screen and below the video. Do enjoy! Fallout 5 has been confirmed multiple times by Bethesda now, but what engine will they use to develop the 5th game? Well, it's too early to have a definitive answer, but it's most likely going to be the Creative Engine 2, which is an upgraded version of the original one, currently being used to power up Starfield and the next The Elder Scrolls 6. In fact, for some gaming media, the Creation Engine 2 is enabling and representing a new era of Bethesda games. The evidence is already there in the latest Starfield in-game footage, where stunning scenes and very different graphics are shown in contrast with the original Creative Engine-powered titles. According to GamesRadar, the second engine is bringing new animations, renders, lighting, and photogrammetric systems. Now, even though we have a glimpse of what this upgraded engine can deliver, based on the existing trailers and in-game footage of course, I believe Starfield as the final product will be the ultimate showcase of what the Creative Engine 2 is truly capable of. Anyway, back to Fallout 5, it's likely that Bethesda will still use this recent engine to develop their next games. After all, it's not like they upgrade their engine very often. In fact, the original Creation Engine powered up their games for 25 years. So it's logical to assume Fallout 5 will use Creation Engine 2. Maybe a more advanced version by then, but it's unlikely that Bethesda will simply switch engines or get into uncharted territories all of a sudden, especially considering their history and path when it comes to game development. So yes, Creation Engine is most definitely the answer you are looking for. Next, let's dive into Fallout 5's estimated release date, starting with data that will lead us there. Recently, during the Xbox Bethesda Games showcase, which took place earlier this month, Todd Howard revealed that Fallout 5 is coming after The Elder Scrolls 6, disclosing the development queue list. He even added that there are some other projects they look at from time to time, hinting towards other new games. Anyhow, we now know that Fallout 5 is real and coming after the 6th Elder Scrolls game, which is currently in pre-production according to Bethesda. So when can players expect Fallout 5 to come out? Well, I think it's clear for everyone that it won't be anytime soon. But there are ways to guess a bit better with more accuracy than others and estimate how much players must wait until the next Fallout game arrives. Currently, Fallout 5's release is the ultimate guessing challenge driving the media mad. I'm not even exaggerating here. I read over a dozen of articles where each website basically says something different. It's a bit like gambling, isn't it? I'm even going to show the exact codes here instead of copying them so you guys see how insane it is right now with evidence. For example, TechRadar states that 2024 or later feels realistic. Note that 2024 is in just 2 years, guys. So I think we should assume whoever wrote this part was either not in the right state of mind or it was a typo. They surely meant 2034 instead of 2024. If not, how is Bethesda supposed to create The Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5 both in just a couple of years? Yeah, it's not going to happen. No way close to it. Anyway, WCCF Tech estimates that Fallout 5 will be out by 2029 if we are lucky. Now that's a more realistic date, but probably not very accurate still, as you will find out in a bit. TW Infinite shares the same opinion. Their release time window is set to 2030 as shown, so very close to the last one. Next, Kokatu seems to have lost all faith in Bethesda and told their audience that Fallout 5 will probably come out by 2050. We will be lucky to be alive by then, am I right? Actually, that was a sarcastic title because inside the article they actually hint towards 2035, a bit more realistic in my view. Lastly, Polygon also entered the guessing game, but they did not dare to type out an exact year with the reason of it simply being too soul-draining to say out loud. Well, I can't blame them for that. It is indeed soul-draining. Now, you may be wondering why are all these giant gaming media channels betting on decades of waiting time, and the reason is math. No, really, as EGN did well in this article, you can somewhat estimate the waiting time by calculating the average development time for past Bethesda games, like previous Fallout and The Elder Scrolls, or even Starfield, which took them 7 years if the release is not delayed again. Now, the previous two franchises are massive and normally require about a decade to develop, so considering The Elder Scrolls 6 is in pre-production right now, that means it will take at least some 7 years more to come out. Then we can add some extra 7 for Fallout 5's development. That leaves us with about 15 years of suspense around 2037. But that could be a very optimistic number because if something goes wrong, as it normally does, such as another pandemic, major bugs, or some engine issue along the way, which can easily generate and cause delays, then the number will be much more soul-draining, as Polygon called it. As such, I think it's safe to assume that unless a third-party dev teams up with Bethesda, Fallout 5 will take around 2 more decades to see the light of the day. I would love to say that all this guessing game is wrong, but sadly, I do not. I think 2 decades is a pretty accurate release time, especially after Todd Howard came public to express his frustration with the slow development times at Bethesda. Maybe now under Microsoft's wing, Bethesda will be able to borrow some extra teams to speed up the process and cut off a few years of waiting or despairing time for players. Well, I guess all we can do is sit tight and watch how it plays out in the long run. But one thing is for sure, don't expect the next Fallout to come anytime soon, and by that I mean in the next 10 years or so. Moving forward, something else I have often seen regarding Fallout 5 is about release platforms. According to some gaming media, the next Fallout might end up as an exclusive for Game Pass, since now Bethesda is part of Microsoft. However, there are 2 main reasons that exclusivity might never happen here. First of all, we don't know what the future holds in 10 or 20 years from now, so trying to predict the future so far ahead could turn out into a double-edged sword. Secondly, the Fallout franchise is massive and its audience is intergenerational and it has roots in all platforms, so turning the 5th game into an exclusive title is probably not the best approach in terms of marketing and sales. Lastly, keep in mind that in 2020, Microsoft mentioned that they will decide the exclusive status of every new Bethesda game case by case, which means there can and most likely will be exceptions. Also, Todd Howard already said it's hard to imagine The Elder Scrolls 6 as a Game Pass game only. So I believe when the time comes, the same type of dilemma will emerge for Fallout 5. It will most likely become another exception to the Microsoft exclusivity rule. At least I hope so, and it's what makes the most sense in my opinion. Alright, leaving the release speculations behind, what about the current development state of Fallout 5? Well, considering the latest revelations, we are definitely on a pre-production phase. The game design document GDD Phase actually, where team leaders start creating an extensive document containing the pillars of the new game, such as story, characters, gameplay concepts, features, mechanics, monetization methods, world design, sketches, artwork, and all sort of theory stuff really. It's like a bag where everything theoric fits in. For those of you not familiar with the GDD, here's some more insight on what it is and how it works. It's basically an essentials business plan for video games to keep developers organized and maximize efficiency and budget. Now, we already know that Bethesda had a one-pager document for Fallout 5 in 2020, so by now the GDD should be a bit more polished. Perhaps there are even some concept arts and sketches, but nothing too substantial considering the development is not about to begin anytime soon. I would risk to say Bethesda is currently allocating resources for Fallout 5, planning for the future, asserting risks, studying the audience, perhaps thinking about hiring a more specialized staff or train existing one, or even creating strategy plans to organize the different departments once they switch gears from the Elder Scrolls 6 into Fallout 5. You know, that sort of planning that takes many months to accomplish. Lastly, the GDD phase is a very important one for major and AAA studios. According to the College of Digital Art and Animation, companies like EA, Microsoft, and Ubisoft are highly process-driven and require heavy documentation. It's part of their success. So yes, definitely this is the current state of Fallout 5 right now. It's all about documents and planning and organizing everything for the future, and it will probably be that way for a while. Lastly, I have some news on Fallout 5's social features. According to most media I read, authors believe Fallout 5 will go back to its roots. It will be a pure single-player game, but there might be some kind of minor social features. According to TechRadar, the Fallout 76 experience is proof that multiplayer didn't work out for the franchise, so they believe the fifth game will have no multiplayer at all. They even put the possibility of minor social features like Dark Souls, but quickly dismisses it since it would make no sense at all for the Fallout universe. As for spiel times, they completely dismiss multiplayer, and co-op might have a slight chance to be integrated. As for gaming.net, there's no doubt that Fallout 5 will return to its single-player roots after the disappointing release of 76. Overall, the gaming media believes a single player will be the fifth game focus, and that's pretty much it. However, social features have a huge impact in games nowadays, and I believe social will have an even more important role to play as players enjoy to connect with others or simply enjoy the freedom of choice within their favorite games. In fact, there's a lot of players who only buy games these days if they have co-op or some sort of social features to play with friends, family, and so on. As such, I believe Fallout 5 will come with some sort of multiplayer, nothing like 76, I don't think, but perhaps a co-op system would be very likely. But it's too early to tell for sure, so let's move on to the outro. Well, that's pretty much everything I have to report for the time being. It's not like there's a lot of concrete details yet, for obvious reasons, but I did try my best to retrieve as much data as I could regarding the given topics. I actually used dozens of articles to make this video. The main sources are listed below in case you want to check them out. Anyway, what do you think? Will Fallout 5 come in the next decade or two? Will it come with any sort of multiplayer features? And will it be a Microsoft exclusive title or not really? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That concludes the video. Thank you so much for watching. I am Marta Branco, and as always, a huge thanks to all my dear supporters. You guys are the best. Now feel free to leave a like and subscribe to help the channel grow, and I will see you all very, very soon in the next one. Until then, take care. Adeus, bye bye!